Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Courtside Soundoff podcast. Once again, I'm Josh Evanoff. Welcomed as always by the one and only Angel Ortega. A lot of stuff to talk about this week. You got UFC 274 to go over. UFC Vegas 54 happening this Saturday. Bellator 280 happened last Friday. Bellator 281 happening this Friday, as well as some boxing news to close out the show. As always, if you want 10% off your order at RogueEnergy.com, use code SOUNDOFF at checkout. It's code SOUNDOFF at checkout for 10% off of all your energy needs. Once again, RogueEnergy.com, code SOUNDOFF at checkout. Get yourself something nice. Get somebody you love something nice. They have lots of stuff, guys. Come on. Use the code. Get yourself something. Treat yourself. It's the summer. You might as well go ahead and get something nice. Get a nice flavor for the summer. You know? Anyways, as always, code SOUNDOFF, RogueEnergy.com. Last Saturday night, from the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona, UFC 274. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. As far as the main event goes, Charles Oliveira is not the UFC lightweight champion. However, he is still the best lightweight on planet Earth. He defeats Justin Gaethje via rear naked choke. He knocks him down. He taps him out. Angel, my man, at this point, obviously he does not have the title, and we'll go over Scalegate in a second, but
I love that.
Is there anybody else that you can argue? It's inarguable at this point. Charles Oliveira is the greatest lightweight on planet Earth.
It's untouchable. It's untouchable. It's undisputed.
That's what I thought.
Why? Did you think I was about to give you some other opinion?
Look, dude, I'll put it like this. There's a lot of Islam Makhachev fans that sprouted up over the weekend. I just wanted to. I didn't know there were any that existed up until like Sunday.
Josh, I'm not Josh. I'm not Josh Thompson. You got the wrong guy.
Fair enough. Yeah, man, he looked damn good. Obviously, full credit to Gaethje. He did score a knockdown, you know.
Just one, Josh? He faked him out with the other, didn't he?
I thought the first one I thought was a clean knockdown. The second one, he landed on him and it looked like he pulled guard. That's what it kind of looked like to me. He was kind of like, you know what, I got hit hard. I'm going to go and sit down for a minute. That's what it looked like to me. He got credited with one knockdown, regardless. But yeah, man, I mean, Oliveira going out there and doing it the way that he did, the fashion that he did, just how shocked were you? Because I think generally, you know, you and I were on the same page in regards to that fight, where it's like, you know, Gaethje's going to have the advantage in the stand-up. You know, Oliveira obviously has the advantage of the grappling, but dude, come fight night. Those motherfuckers are going toe-to-toe. Oliveira was in the pocket with him. He ended up dropping him. He showcased his striking once again. I mean, how surprised were you with the way that it played out?
It was crazy. You gotta love the fact that once it landed on the ground, he went right into his bread and butter. He went for the submission. He's like, I'm going to go for the choke. I'm not going to try to get on top of this guy and pound on him. Like, great maturity out of him. Obviously making the right decision. And it's been the striking, right, Josh? I think that's been what it is. He's leading up into his current reign. It's been a lot of success on the feet. It hasn't been, it's not like Oliveira, it's the jiu-jitsu guy. He's going to trach you down and submit you. No, he's going to stand with you, and maybe he'll wrap you up. And if you guys end up down there, he'll find a submission. It's not him chasing the submission. It's just like, if the opportunity's there, it'll lead to it. Mm-hmm. And that's what's been happening. I felt like, in this fight though, Josh, I feel like Justin Gaethje, I don't know if he got in his own head or he was fighting angry, but you saw, like, he started throwing with ferocity. I mean, so much that he
fell over at one point whenever he missed. He put so much power. He
put in so much power. He fucking did a full, like, I don't know, but it was a bit of like, when he did that, I'm like, oh fuck, all right, this isn't gonna be good. But we kind of already saw the shit coming though, just how it was going in the later of the round. I mean, going forward.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, going forward, Josh. I mean, he's established himself as the best 155er on the planet. It's not even close at this moment in time. Granted, though, at this point in time, it's looking like it's going to be Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira for the vacant title. Is that the fight to make, Josh? Is this the matchup?
I'm going to say yes. And really, it just comes down to the fact that, well, okay, it's kind of a little bit weird because Oliveira wants to take some time off because he's had 3 title fights within the span of 12 months. And it's a lot of preparation. It's a lot to go through. He said he wants to fight in December. If that's the case, Dariush Makhachev is the fight to make. Mm-hmm. Just because he's going to be out for a bit. So I'm assuming, and besides, UFC wants to make that fight anyway. So in that case, the winner of Makhachev-Dariush, which I'd bet a lot of money would be Makhachev. So yeah, I agree with you in a roundabout way. But yeah, I mean, that is the fight to make. Just because, I mean, what else is there to do? I mean, I love me some Michael Chandler, but Chandler just lost Oliveira, you know? He got a nice win, which we'll talk about, but I don't think that's enough to get a title shot, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just think you gotta go ahead and run. Oliveira said he wants to be out. He's gonna take some time off. He's gonna fight in December, probably. November, December. At which point, you might as well run Makhachev and Dariush in the meantime. Winner of that fight Charlie Olives for the belt. I think that makes sense. You know? And damn, dude, it's a damn shame that we have to say for the vacant title. You know, I don't know if I really want to touch on the scale again. I joked about it. But I don't know if I really want to touch about it just because there's so many. We really don't know a whole lot. I mean, I know that apparently 15 fighters. This is according to, like, I don't know how many of them have been verified, but there's a report that came out literally, I think last night. 15 fighters, agreed that there was something wrong with the scale backstage that they all use. Cause they have if you guys don't know, there's the scale that they have out for the official weigh-ins. They have a pre-scale that you can go test yourself before you go out just to make sure you're on weight. Apparently that one was off. Which
is a digital scale, I believe, right? Not the regular.
Yeah, correct.
Uh-huh.
So that one was off by 0.5. And, so only 2 fighters missed weight. Dumont missed weight by 0.5, so did Oliveira. But there was like a lot of fighters that they thought they were, you know, 0.5 under, and they ended up coming in 0.5 higher than they expected. So apparently that's a whole thing, you know. Obviously, I don't think the UFC would have to admit that they were wrong in stripping Oliveira, so I'm sure he's not going to be, you know, renamed champion anytime soon, but I don't know, it feels like a really sketchy situation, you know. But I suppose we'll see what happens with that in the future.
Regardless, Josh, we both kind of think the rule is dumb of making exactly 155 for the time, which makes sense, but it just weirded me that you don't get even like half a pound of grace or a pound, which I feel like.
I think if you're going to have a 1 pound allowance for non-title fights, you might as well have it for title fights, or you should just not have or you should just get rid of the pound allowance for whenever it's, you know, a non-title fight. What's the point of having
you're having the pound in general, right?
Which, by the way, here's the thing. I feel like 99% of commission members would have let that go.
Yeah. And the weird thing about this, Josh, is Oliveira has come in under a lot recently.
He has, yeah.
Like 154, 153, even at his light featherweight days, as low as 142, I think I saw, or 143. So it was odd for him too. But I guess maybe with now, like, having the title, he's kind of focused more on his, you know, body conditioning, maintaining muscle. So his cuts have to be a little bit more, what's the word for it, exact, you know, more calculated. So, I mean, granted, there was some failure on his end, but it just sucks that there's, like, other factors to it that kind of were, in a way, out of his control.
Yeah. Well, look, I see a lot of people are like, why is there like a conspiracy? I mean, he's missed weight 5 times and yada, 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 which is pretty fucking out of context. Like, if you make that, because he missed weight, correct, he missed weight 5 times throughout his career at featherweight, 4 times previously. This would have been the 5th. He's never missed weight at lightweight. He's never even come close. So, yeah, man, I see a lot of people making that case, and especially, like, if there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a shit ton of smoke on this thing. So it just feels very, very sus. I'll put it like that. But obviously we're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. There's not a whole lot of details in regards to, you know, nothing confirmed. I really hope that they decide to just reverse this shit. It just feels wrong. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen a lot of cases throughout UFC history, especially in title fights, where guys have done a lot of suspect things to make weight, or they'll just step on the scale immediately and, oh shit, 155, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not calling out names. But, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This happened multiple times. And that's, nobody called him then, but then Charles Oliveira, coincidentally fighting in Gaethje's hometown, by the way, he gets called for it. So, whatever. But regardless, Charles Oliveira, not lightweight champion, but still the greatest lightweight on planet Earth. This co-main event, I said at the top of the show, it was the best of times, which is our main event. This was the worst of times. This was indisputably, I saw some people trying to argue it with some other fights, which we can get into. This was by far the worst UFC title fight in history. And I don't think it's particularly close. As far as the end result, Carlos Barza defeats Rosamundus via split decision, 48-47 as far as 48-47 Namajunas and 49-46 as far as this fight sucked, man. I mean, there's no other. Sometimes there are fights which people say sucked, and I think there's like a certain avenue to which you can enjoy it. You know, Ngannou Lewis was terrible, but at least you can enjoy it with like the commentary. The commentary was so funny, and everybody was talking shit in the crowd. It was a really funny experience. You know, Kimbo Dada back in the day, hilarious. You know, it was so bad. And there are other times where it's like, oh, like they're not really doing a whole lot, but it's like a technical fight where two guys, they're not really throwing to a lot of strikes, but it's very technical game plan. This fight just sucked. I mean, Rose she essentially just stayed on the back foot the entire time. Carlos Barza tried to move forward, but she very clearly has her limitations as a striker, and she's also the much shorter, like one, so she couldn't really do a whole lot. She shot for takedowns. She got 2 of them, you know, I think for a combined 40 seconds control time. This fight just sucked. Angel, what I'll ask you is what do you think about the fight itself? What do you think about the result? I saw a lot of people saying, like, you know what, whenever it comes to a fight like this, maybe they shouldn't let Esparza be champion because the fight itself was just so terrible.
It was a terrible fight, man. I mean, just keep it simple. And I can't hate on the champ, right? She came out, she did what she was supposed to do. The current champ, not talking about Rose.
Yeah, talking about Esparza.
But, I mean, it was a disappointment. And what was the other part of your question?
Just, like, what do you think about the end result?
Oh, I didn't have an issue with it. I thought it was a rare result.
Yeah. I
thought the right person won.
Yeah, so did I. I saw some people crying for a Rose robbery, and I just thought, like, what the fuck did they watch? You know what I mean? Like, there was so little in this that neither one could complain. But even then, I thought it was. I gave as far as the full round just by virtue of I thought round 5 was Rose's round because she actually did shit, and that round made me more upset than anything because she showed like she easily won the round. And in round 5, you don't really expect, you know, both of them were tired by that point. You don't really expect that to happen too often. She easily won the round. It wasn't even close. She showed that she could have done that the entire time, but she just didn't, you know? I gave, as far as the 4 rounds, I thought it was a terrible fight, but I thought she cleanly won. What do you think about the comments afterwards, particularly from Rose's camp? I know she said in the post-fight that, she thought she had good defense and she gets scored for defense. Why do I always have to fuck up my face? Was something she said. You know, Pat Barry said she thought Rose is up 4-0 heading into the 5th round. I mean, what do you think about all those post-fight comments?
They're saying I think in the moment, right? They might be thinking a lot of these things, but a lot of it is wrong. You know what I mean? If you go back and like watch the fight, you see that they genuinely think everything. They make it seem like everything is all right. No, it was quite the fucking opposite. Nothing was all right. Yes, she was following the game plan. Yes, she looked good. She was fluid. She was moving well. But none of that was leading to her winning rounds. None of that was leading to her winning that fight. It was quite the opposite. It was actually losing her the fight because she wasn't doing anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm on the same page. I mean, you gotta be in massive denial to think that Rose did anything.
Dude, they were like 9/11 denier status, Josh. Like, it was up there.
Yeah, this was terrifying, dude. Like, this was just such a, I can't even, so on the show last week I said, like, you know what, like, Rose, you know, she's a bit of a mental fighter, she gets in her own head sometimes, and yada, yada, yada. And she already lost with Sparta, so I thought maybe that would play a similar role. I said that I didn't really know what that meant at the time. You know, I kind of just thought like maybe she would be a little bit hesitant to throw, maybe she'd be more wild, yada yada yada. Dude, I didn't know she just wouldn't fucking throw punches. Like, I had no idea that would happen. Like, they were so terrified of the takedown, which props to Carlos Barza. Like, I see, like, you know what? She's won me over to this whole thing. I'll admit it. You know, I telling people that she deserved a title shot a long time ago, but I didn't expect her to do a whole lot with it. I ended up picking her, but, she came out afterwards. She was like, yeah, I mean, somebody asked about the commentary. She was like, yeah, they were being real. Like, as the fight was going on, I knew the fight sucked, and then after, just to see, like, the disparity between her and the Rose and her camp, it's just like, no wonder she won. Like, she was actually being real about how the fight was playing out, and that's just, it was so tough, man. It was so tough to watch. Congratulations to Carlos Barza. She's getting married this week, too, so what a
big
nice
W, right?
Yeah, huge W. She didn't even get punched in the face, She's going
to look good on her wedding, and she has the title. Better question is, does she walk down the aisle with the title?
Oh, she better, dude.
I would, dude. Fuck it, bro. It's my wedding.
Same page. Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah, man, this fight sucked. Anyways,
it's the worst title fight in MMA history, right? Officially.
Oh, I don't even think. Yeah, I can't think of what comes like close. Some people were saying like Yoel and Izzy, but Izzy at least threw leg kicks, and Yoel had a couple big moments. Like, he landed a couple big shots. Like, there was something there.
Also, he put the fear of God in him too when he landed a big shot, and it kind of changed.
He did. Which is why that fight
changed pace so quick.
Way. Yeah, that's why that fight played out a certain way. These two fought like, dude. Like, I can't even say these two because, like I said, like, Esparza was trying to do stuff, but she clearly has physical limitations.
Dude, I think Rose was fucking shadowboxing in there, dude. I don't know who the fuck she was looking at with those things from a mile away.
Dude, I was thinking about this, dude. Like, she fought like she was fighting Francis Ngannou.
That's
like, what she did.
She said, "I can't go in."
Yeah, like, she can't. Oh yeah, I gotta stay on the out. Like, dude, she fought like she was fighting Francis Ngannou, but she was fighting like 5'0.5", like 5.05 Carlos Barza. Like, she's very, very tiny. She's not a striker. Like,
she's tough.
She's tough, but man, she's like I said, she's a lot of physical limitations. The fact that like Rose did a good job at stuffing the takedowns, and like she still lost. If you told me this fight was gonna be fought mostly on the feet and Carlo would have won, I've been like, dog, word, like what the fuck, like,
and be down on the strikes too.
Yeah, like dog, wait, what? Like, no, like, that's not gonna happen.
You said, hold up, G.
I was like, word? Like, no way. Like,
no motherfucking way.
Like, just regardless, dude. Shout out Carlos Barza. She did win the fight. It's not one I'm ever gonna watch again. And I hated watching the first time. But congratulations, Carlos Barza. Rose, man, I don't even know where she goes from here, man. Like, that was such a bad loss. It's one thing if you lose the title.
Who are they gonna make her fight? That's a better question. She's in a weird spot because she's fought. So she lost her title, right?
Yeah.
Actually, let me look at it to have the full picture in my head real quick. We got to go back to the Andrade fight, which she lost, where she got slammed very
violently.
Yeah. Okay, so she fights, she loses her title. There's quite a bit of time. Obviously, COVID plays a factor. She wins split decision. She gets the title back from Whaley. Fucking vicious head kick. Wins the split against Whaley, which I thought she lost, and now lost to Barza in one of the worst fights I've ever seen. She has to fight down at this point, right? Like, they're gonna have to make her fight someone who's on the verge, right? Like, they have to be looking at some other options. Like, are they gonna throw like a Marina Rodriguez her way? Are they gonna maybe are they maybe trying to run a Tuscandra, like trilogy with her? Like I wonder what direction they're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I don't know who she can fight. Like, I don't know. I think she does have to fight down. I think, after that Whaley rematch, I thought she got really lucky. I thought she was really hesitant. I thought she lost that fight, but it was a close fight where I didn't really complain too much. I thought she was really hesitant, but then she went ahead and she got away with it that one time, and she did the same thing again, and she wasn't going to be able to get away with it. It was just such a bad fight and such a terrible fight. I don't know what she's. I don't know what she's going to do from here.
It feels like she's lacking a bit of initiative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when she's the one who's capable of dictating a fight, just because of the way she fights. I
mean, she's one of the most talented women's fighters thing I've ever seen. I think her on her best day beats every single strawweight ever. Like, I truly believe that, you know. I think Joanna's the GOAT because of, like, her pedigree, and that second fight was really close, and, you know, it was close between her and Rose. I'll say it's close, but, like, I think Rose on her best day beats every single strawweight on their best day ever, you know. Maybe not Tatiana Suarez, but, you know, I like how...
Well, we sadly won't get to see that. She beats
everybody, to be honest, but, you know. Regardless, yeah, man, I don't know what she does from here. I think that she needs to take a step back and just... I think she's got to reevaluate some stuff, man. I mean, I think this is...
Again? Another setback?
I'm referring more to training. I'm not talking about her mental state. Because, I mean, that's not something she'd be able to change. She's so deep into her career at this point, that's not going to change. How she is a person, that's not going to change. She's 29, she's going to get older, but, like, dude, like, specifically in training, I think Trevor Whitman is one of the greatest coaches in MMA, but that whole, I'm not going to touch the Pat Barry stuff, but all I'm saying is that she should really, really evaluate who her number one coach is. That's all I'm going to say on that.
I mean, at the end of the day, if she does decide to go not a different direction, but Pat stepping back as number 2 still wouldn't be bad because it's not like he's the guy making all the tactical adjustments, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, Pat Barry's not an idiot in regards to MMA, but the fact that he was the number one guy in the corner and he was telling her that, like, yeah, you're up 4 rounds to nothing.
He's the number one guy, and you have Trevor Whitman sitting in the back playing second fiddle.
Trevor Whitman, the greatest mind in MMA right now, arguably, in regards to coaching, sitting in the corner and he'd have to take a back seat. It's like, man, no. Like, come on. And you even see, like, Trevor's the number 2 coach because I think he just likes, I think he enjoys coaching her. That's why he's even there. But, like, you saw, like, I'm not sure if you also picked this up, like, on the vibe. Like, you could tell Trevor was getting more upset as the fight was going on, too. Like, you see round 5, he was like, all right, now it's time to go. You had fun. Now it's time to go. Like,
I wish we had, like, just corner footage, you know, to listen to the corner. I know why they don't do it, but fuck, man, I'd love to see, like, the full, like, you know, 25 minutes of the corner speaking, you know, and the camera on them, and hear them talking, see their facial, like, I would love to genuinely see if they were really thinking, holy fuck, we blew this bitch out, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I went, because if you guys don't know, I was on vacation, so I didn't see this fight live. But then I rewatched it and I watched the fight and it was just terrible and I regretted it. But I went back and I watched the corner audio because I was like, man, I saw Rhodes say that in the post fight, like, oh yeah, my corner told me it was up 4 rounds. She said Trevor Whitman did. I went back and I was like, there's no fucking way he did. He didn't. Pat Barry said she was, but, yeah, man, that was just terrible. I think he's got to reevaluate that. But I think he's been enough.
Imagine, Josh, a world where she moves away from Trevor as her coach.
I think that'd be the worst mistake of her career. If she double, like, if she decided to, like, just double down and stay with Pat, that'd be horrific. That would be really, really bad, dude. But anyway, man. Anyways, I think, you know what, guys? I think that we just gave you about 12 minutes of a recap. And that was so much better than that entire 25-minute fight. And by chance, did you actually watch Chaels talk about this fight?
No, I didn't. But was it comedy? It
was so comedy because he talked about it for like 15. He talked about it for 7 minutes. He's like, and that, ladies and gentlemen, might be the worst topic in this history of the show. But you were entertained for the 7 minutes and 58 seconds that I talked about it. And I was like, fuck, Chael, you got me. Like, that was just, I love, he's always our hype man. And he was like, yeah, this was terrible. Like,
he's like, I'm not going to deny it, guys.
Exactly. But, you know, moving on down, this fight was not terrible. Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson.
Josh, we called this shit, by the way.
We did.
Which is kind of sad. It's kind of sad that we called it, but it was bound to happen.
Yeah, true. And, but hey, you know what? Let's call it for what it is. El Kukui was back in round 1. El Kukui was back.
You know, he got us thinking there, right? And it doesn't mean that his next fight can't be good, you know?
Mm-hmm. Correct. And I think if he's matched up with the right guy, he can have a good fight. You know, and I don't even think it'd be, maybe not even anybody outside the top 15, you know what I mean? But Michael Chandler's got that firepower. I guess we didn't say how he won. He knocked him out. If you guys didn't see it, head kick. 17 seconds into round 2. Round 1 was pretty clearly Tony.
Look,
Brown.
it was it was a front kick to the face. You know, it was
front kick to the fucking teeth. Yeah.
It was a very unique way for specifically Michael Chandler to finish someone.
Yeah. Even he said, I just kind of feel it out there as like a rangefinder. I didn't expect it to land.
Yeah, no, he landed it. He landed it good. It put Tony out. First person to ever finish Tony in his career, his MMA career.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, must feel good, but not good at the same time, right? But, you know, it was sick, and we called it, Josh. I said, Josh, there's a good chance that Tony Ferguson might get finished in this fight. And he's never been finished ever in his career. And it might just happen. And, you know, in a bad way, in a good way, we called it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was hard to watch, though. I mean, especially because Tony was out for such a long time, you know. It was a little bit tough to watch. But even with that, I mean, goddamn, dude. Michael Chandler, 4 fights in, he's 2-2. I think he's in the conversation. Only 4 fights in. Maybe one of the best signings the UFC's ever done. Right or wrong.
I don't disagree. I think, especially coming from another decently sized promotion that is in the UFC, I'd say this is one of the biggest W's they've gotten.
I could have phrased that better, but like not just like a general sign, but like from like another promotion, like another big free agent sign. This is arguably the best they've ever done.
Well,
I mean,
it's probably him and Justin Gaethje, right? World Series of fighting.
I'd say so. I mean, yeah, that's probably maybe Eddie. Maybe Eddie
at its time, probably. We're trying to think if there's anybody else we're forgetting.
I mean, Crow Cop was a big deal, but he ended up kind of flopping on his first run.
He did, sadly, yes.
Yeah, he came back. He only had 1 fight, I think, as part of the second run, but he knocked out Gonzalez, so he got that one back.
I mean, and there's guys that we haven't seen yet, right, that have gotten signed recently, and their time might come. I mean, like Drikas, you know, obviously he had his little run up in, oh man, what's the promotion? I'm blanking on it. KSW. He had his little reign there. Mm-hmm. Even, I mean, you know, I guess Jan Blachowicz is another one that we really don't think about, but in a different way, right? Because it's more or less his kind of success that he's gotten, right, and how it's kind of worked out for himself, not necessarily directly for the UFC as a brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but dude, this is just, god damn, he is something. I mean, I pumped him up when he got signed. I remember a lot of people were kind of skeptical, you know.
I don't know why. I don't know why either. People just want to hate Josh. I mean, you know something, Josh? I just think we're just fucking smarter than everybody. That's really what it is.
I think that's it, honestly.
Our brains are just too big.
Yeah, man. This is goddamn. What a knockout, man. What a knockout. I don't know what to really say about this. I mean, he called out a lot of people post-fight. He said he wanted to fight the winner of Gaethje Oliveira. Ended up being Oliveira. That's probably not going to happen, though. He also wants to fight Conor McGregor. He also, in the day afterwards, called out Nate Diaz. I'll be honest, I don't think he fights any one of those guys.
Who does he fight then? You think he's going to fight someone who's under him, who's on the come up?
I don't even know, man. I think they're going to give him some, maybe Poirier? Maybe?
Really? I mean, I guess they haven't fought. That'd be a banger. But they train out of the same gym, though, so I don't think that would happen.
No, they don't.
They don't? I thought they did.
No, man, where does Chandler train out of? I can't remember where he trains out of, but I know they don't train together because they have beef. Chandler said he doesn't want to fight him.
Oh, yeah, they do have beef, you're right.
Yeah, because he said that he got Poirier dismissed him when he came to the UFC, which, to be fair, he did. You know, he turned a fight down with him multiple times, so.
He fights out of Stanford.
Yeah, with Henry Hooft.
Yeah. What the fuck? Then where does Poirier fight out of? Where am I blanking?
ATT.
Oh, but they're both in Miami, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's why it fucked me up. Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, man, definitely.
Well, not Miami, but Florida.
Oh, yeah. But, anyways, man, this was a hell of a knockout. Can't wait to see Chandler back in there next time. And it was kind of like, I saw a lot of people bashing. They were talking like, oh, you know, the UFC got what they wanted by booking this one, you know, because Ferguson got knocked out. And I kind of thought the exact opposite. I thought the UFC they kind of proved that they went ahead and made the right booking decision here, because that fight was dope. Like, Ferguson looked like himself. And if it wasn't for like a flash knockout, who knows how it would have gone, you know?
It was a very sudden thing. I mean, you can't just base it up on. You need to look at the whole picture, like how he was looking up until that moment. You know what I mean? He's looking good.
Yep. Anyways, man, in regards to the other fights on the main card, obviously Lozon Cerrone got canceled.
That was devastating.
Moved. That was devastating. But we did have one old guy fight. This one was not nearly as fun as we'd hoped. Owen St. Preux, first time around, was a knockout over Shogun Rua. He does go 2-0 in the series, gets a split decision win. This fight sucked. I don't have too many thoughts on it. What do you think?
It was a rough one. I had high expectations for it. I don't know why.
You said you didn't?
I had high expectations for it. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't know why either. Yeah.
I'm a moron, aren't
I? Yeah, this is a fucking rough one, dude. Like, I didn't get it at all. I just didn't. I mean, I knew it was going to be rough, you know? But anyways, just because at this point in their career, neither one they're not really big on throwing. They're both pretty washed. 39-year-old versus a 40-year-old. I'm glad one of these guys got a win, though. You know, I'll put it like that. I'm glad to see if they got a win. I'm glad they're going to give Shogun.
It's good that they fought each other, though.
Yeah, I'm glad they're giving both these guys appropriate matchups in their point in their career. You know what I mean? That's what I'm happy about.
Yeah, they're not fighting fucking Yuri, you know, or Rakic.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm fine with that and fine with it in that regard. But anyways, main card opened with Randy Brown defeating Chaos Williams. He did not pick this one because he got moved up to the main card like 2 hours before the card started. Give me your thoughts on this one. I know the decision was a bit controversial, but what did you think?
I mean, it was an alright fight. I didn't think it was anything too special. I thought it was an end and a finish just because of the names. So I was a bit disappointed on it. But, credit to Randy Brown, right? I mean, he came out, he did his thing. It didn't come out with, it didn't come without controversy, of course, but we get those sometimes. I definitely have to rewatch this one again.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly, if I'm gonna be honest with you, Josh, if we would have made picks, I would have picked Chaos Williams.
I probably would have as well. But Randy Brown's look out, dude. 31 years young. He's improving a lot over his last few fights. I think he's won 5 of his last 6 and the 1 loss to Luque. He's looking damn good lately, dude. But, anyways, man. Yeah, as far as the rest of the card goes, as far as prelims go, give me your take on some of these fights.
Oh boy, man. I need to highlight our boy Brandon Royval, one of our favorites in the division. He came out and got I believe it was a submission, a first round. Last one, controversial last fight. Look, it happens, right? Can't do anything about it now, but, he's stringing them together again, man. He's trying to get back to that title and, he's chugging along there, man. He's doing his little thing. He's not getting a lot of, praise for it or anything. He's not fighting any super big names in that division, but he's digging at it.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And I kind of feel like this card was kind of like a night for, I don't want to say old guys, because obviously, Tony lost, but, Chandler's 36, he got the dub, OSP's 39, he got the dub. Trinaldo's really, really old.
It's like 42, 41,
43.
And it was somewhere in that range.
Yeah, he's even older than I thought. It's only like 41, 42. Anyways, man, yeah, it's kind of a night for old dudes, honestly.
Blagoy won too.
Blagoy, yeah, that's another big one. That was Blagoy's first fight in a long time, so I was happy for him, dude. Really, really happy for that guy.
2 years. Almost exactly 2 years.
Nice, yeah. So shout out Blagoy getting back in the win column. Macy Chiasson defeating Norma Dumont. That was kind of a weird decision, I actually thought Norma won that one, but regardless, not a huge deal. Dude, Andre Fiallo, this guy's 28, and we're 3 fights into the UFC run. He's looking damn good, dude. Like, I gotta go and say it.
Yeah, he's the real deal. He came out here, got a finish, came on short notice. That's what you want to see out of a guy. And made weight.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And he looked damn good. 2 knockouts in the span of a month. Knocked out Miguel Baez and knocked out Cameron Van Camp. Obviously, his one loss to Michelle Pahea, which at this point, I mean, that's not a bad loss by any means, you know?
Oh, yeah. Short notice, too.
Yeah, correct. So, yeah, man. Our girl, Lupi Godinez, picked up a nice win over Ariane Cornelosi.
She's still doing it. She's still chugging along.
Still doing the damn thing. She's still only 28, you know? I'm a big fan of Lupi. Yeah, man, I thought it was a pretty fun card. Oh, I realized we forgot to mention something. Brandon Royval, raw dog.
That was the one I highlighted, Josh.
Yeah, well, I mean, I meant to highlight it. My bad. Meant to touch on it. I forgot to touch on that one. Raw dog is a bad man. I meant to ask you, did you see that he's trying to be the backup for Kai Kara-France versus Brandon Moreno?
Oh, he'd get it back against Brandon if he had to get the call-up. So, I mean, that's smart by him.
Yep. So, yeah, dude.
Actually, hasn't he been a backup before? He was a backup for a different fight, wasn't he?
I think he might have been the backup for 255, I think, which was Figueroa versus Perez.
Yeah, I know he was a backup for another fight, I believe. I might be wrong, but I believe he tried to be the backup or was the backup.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's been the backup for in the past for at least one fight. But yeah, man, Brandon Royval is a damn good, and honestly, it's kind of crazy because he was never a guy that was expected to be like a big deal. You know, he kind of got signed on, if I remember correctly, got signed on short notice to fight Tim Elliott.
And he beat Tim Elliott. Beat
Kai Kara-France. He just shot up so quickly. You know, he lost to Moreno, which was, I believe, wasn't like an injury?
He got injured. Shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the Pantoja fight didn't go his way, but now he's back-to-back wins. He's right fucking there, dude. And I've seen a couple of interviews of him. He's a really cool dude, you know?
I like his personality a lot. He's fun.
Yeah, for sure. So I was happy to see him get that win.
He's so big, though. He's 5'90". He could literally be a featherweight.
He's my height, and he's 125 pounds.
He could even be a lightweight.
Yeah, he could be. He's got the frame for it.
Yeah, there's so much to fill out. I'm sure as he gets older.
By the end of his career, I think he's going to be fighting 135, 145 probably. He's only 28, right? I think.
28, 29 in that range. Yeah, he's real young. I mean, he's in his adult body at this point. I mean, it's not going to get any bigger or any smaller.
Yeah, but maybe as he gets older, he'll just want to stop cutting weight.
Yeah, fuck cutting weight, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, he fought at bantamweight to start it. He actually fought as high as 140 to start his career. Really? He fought at bantamweight up until 2016.
It's crazy, dude. People don't know this, but he fought in the World Series of Fighting.
He did.
It's on the Gaethje card.
All the way back, World Series of Fighting 29.
He's been around. He fought in Combate. Like he LFA. Like he's been in the mix. Like he's one of those guys who was committed to being in this fighting shit.
For sure, and I'm so happy to see him having success, dude. I mean, he's a good dude, and he's one of the most entertaining guys in the sport right now. Flyweight is popping right now, man. Flyweight is such a good, and obviously, like, it's a division. It's insane to think about, Angel, but this time, what, 2, 3, it would have been 3 years ago. They were cut in the flyweight division. We would have never seen Royval. You know? Like, we would have not seen a lot of these guys.
Well, good thing they didn't. Yeah. I think that would have been one of the biggest mistakes they would have made in their career.
For sure.
Yeah, no. But it all worked out.
Thank God. But yeah, anyway, so this is all we had to touch on in regards to UFC 274. But happening this weekend, UFC Vegas 54, UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada. This Saturday night, a big light heavyweight showdown between Jan Blachowicz, the former UFC light heavyweight champion, back for the first time since October, taking on Alexander Rakic. Big fight here, my man. Both of these guys looking to get a title shot. Number 1 versus number 3 in the division. 5 rounds. I like this fight a lot, man. I really like this fight a whole lot, but what do you think about this one? Who do you got?
Oh, man. First of all, banger of a fight. Former champ. Up-and-coming star. Pretty much a title eliminator. Well, not a title eliminator, but pretty much kind of like for Rakic, like, if he wins this, he's next in line for the title, right?
Yeah, and I think that even if, depending on who wins Glover versus Yuri, even if Jan wins, it could be right there.
That's very possible, too.
Yeah.
Look, man, I think it's going to be for Blachowicz, we know the game plan, right? He's going to come in, he's going to be tight, He needs to get in the pocket to do his thing, unleash that power. He does have those kicks which we did see in the Dom Reyes fight. I'm curious to see if he decides to do that against a guy like Rajic, who's also like very long, could fight at distance. Does Blachowicz maybe consider a takedown or two here? I wonder if that's going to be a factor. Rakic is not afraid of fighting like a super safe fight, like we've seen that. So, I mean, I'm curious to see how he decides to deal with Blachowicz. Like if he decides to just be very distancy, very long, not really take any risk. He has finishing capabilities, but he hasn't finished any top talent yet. He did put a beating on our boy Anthony Smith, but at that point Smith's career was looking a bit, there was weird things going on there.
He was in a rough spot at that point.
He was in a rough spot, so obviously that's another thing. But he couldn't get him out of there, which it looked like he should have, just from his previous fight. I think he had he fought previously before that? Had he already fought the Glover fight before that, where he got hurt really badly? Let me double check. I'm actually mad curious. Yeah, he did. So,
yeah,
I thought he should have got him out there just because of that, but Anthony Smith's just that guy.
He is.
For me, look, I'm gonna go with the safe pick, Josh. I think I'm gonna pick Rakic. I think he's gonna be smart. String it out to his decision. Avoid any takedowns as they come in. Fight at range. Not try to get in the phone booth. And beat Blachowicz.
Yeah, I'm on the same page. Jan's a guy where I'm not sure if it was like a one fight occurrence, that fight against Glover, where he was really hesitant. I understand Glover obviously has a takedown threat, but I really assumed that he would have done more, you know what I mean? Especially in a title fight situation. That was kind of bizarre, but I'm not really sure if that was just a one fight occurrence or if it was just him slowing down. At this age, at 39, the fact that he won the title and was a champion was miraculous in of its own right. It was insane to see that he finally climbed the mountaintop, But maybe he's getting a bit up there in age. In regards to this fight, I think we're going to see what he's got left, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I'm high on Alexander Rakic. I think he's had a couple of stinkers in a row. I think he's going to go out there and put on a good fight and cement himself as the number one contender. I think that he should be fighting the winner of Glover versus Yair, which is happening next month. I think he strategically put this fight very, very close to that one. So, yeah, man, very, very excited for this fight, and I can see it going either way, but I am going to go and take Rakic. I just think it's going to be his fight. It's going to be his night. But, yeah, man. As far as the co-main event, we have another light heavyweight showdown in that one. Ryan Spann taking on Ian Cutelaba. Spann's back for the first time since his main event lost to Anthony Smith last September. Cutelaba, on the other hand, is riding he's coming off a very nice win, which is actually on the undercard of that fight, where he beat the dog shit out of Devin Clark. Prior to that, he had a draw, and then his 2-fight series against Magomed Ankalaev. Yeah, man, very, very interesting fight here. Who you got in this co-main spot?
Personally, this is a hard one for me to pick, Josh, but I'm gonna go with the whole Cutelaba. I think he's gonna come in. He's gonna be a bully. He's gonna give Spann a lot of trouble. I think he's gonna walk him down, be right in his face, be able to unleash his power, and I think he might even be able to get a finish.
That's what I'm thinking too. I think that Anthony Smith fight showed that Ryan Spann he's very powerful. He has huge punching power, but if you're not afraid of walking him down, you're gonna have some fucking success. Johnny Walker also knocked him out. Not nearly as easily as Anthony Smith dominated him. Granted, it was a submission, but he just walked him down and hurt him. He dropped him like 3 times in the span of that first round. Yeah, I'm going to go Ion Cutelaba. The one thing that dude's got going for him is that he just walks forward like a zombie or like a Hulk all the time. Just doesn't give a shit what's coming back at him, which does have its problems, like whenever he got knocked out brutally. But yeah, man, I am going to go and take him to win this co-main spot. Very tough fight for me to pick personally, though. So same there. Yeah, man, as far as the rest of this card goes, I gotta be honest, man, I like a lot of fights in this card. Which ones are you looking forward to talking about? Which ones are you looking forward to the most?
Ooh, I think I'd have to say, where's it at? Michael Johnson, Alan Patrick. Alan Patrick fought, my boy, I believe, Mason Jones, last year, like around the same time. And in an accidental eye poke, it looked like it was to be a banger. I'd be curious to see how he does against Michael Johnson, because Michael Johnson always is in pretty good fights. So I think we're in line for something pretty good there.
Yeah, same page. I think it's going to be a really fun fight. I think Michael Johnson needs this one badly, man. Really, really badly. And Alan Patrick is a guy, this fight makes a lot of sense. He was 38, getting up there in age. He's had a rough streak recently, but, I mean, both these guys need a win, to be honest. Not just Michael Johnson, but he's currently riding a 4-fight winless streak. So we'll see if the menace can get back on the right track here. He's still only 35, which is kind of weird to think about considering how long he's been around. But he's a rough 35 based off of how much damage he's taken throughout this game. That should be a fun one. Angel, I'm hyped. Got to be honest. Of all the fights on this card, there's a couple of really really good ones. Frank Camacho, Manuel Torres should be fun. Jake Hadley making his UFC debut. Man, Davey Grant, though, versus Luis Smolka sounds like a fucking banger. Am I the only one that's thinking this, dude? Like, this seems like an awesome fight on paper.
No, I agree with you, dude. I'm on the same page. I think it's a fucking banger, too.
Yeah, man. There's a couple of low-key fights on this card. I think an under-the-radar one, which people should be watching to fight. I mean, honestly, I could see the winner of this fighting Valentina Shevchenko, which would suck, but, I don't like either one of them against her, but just, rankings-wise, Caitlin Chukagian riding a 3-fight winning streak, taking on Amanda Hebos, making her, I guess it would be flyweight second fight. I think she fought Paige at flyweight once, and then she moved back down. Dude, if fucking Hebos wins this one, she's number one in the division. If Chukagian wins, she'd be riding a 4-fight win streak, with wins 5 or last 6. So, yeah, man, I mean, she's right there. So, low-key, little bit of I don't want to say title eliminator, but, winner's right there, depending on who wins that fight. So, be sure to watch that one. Andrea Lee taking on Viviana Argerero should be fun. Verna Janajarova taking on Angela Hill should be fun. And opening up the card, which I'm surprised is opening up the card.
This is the weird one. I was going to say that.
Yeah, Nix Maximov, who is, I think I talked about him when we talked about, like, prospects, top guys in the future of the sport. That could be the future of the sport. He's 24 years young. Obviously, he's a Diaz boy. Taking on Andre Petrosky off of The Ultimate Fighter, who is coming off of a huge win. Well, I mean, he's won 2 UFC fights, but it's last time that was a huge win over Yozong Hu, which battered him, I like this fight a lot. I'm really confused as to why it's so low on the card, though. So I'm glad to see that I'm not the only one thinking that. But,
I'm on the
yeah,
same
man.
page.
Yeah, I like this card a lot. Is there anything else we touch on before we move on to Bellator?
No, dude, we didn't highlight Frank Camacho, dude. I hadn't seen that name in forever.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years. Last time he fought Justin James. Why was he out so long, do you know?
I know that he had a couple of fights scheduled. Apparently, according to Wiki, he had a fight scheduled. He had to pull out due to COVID. He was supposed to fight Brock Weaver in September 2021, which would have been a solid fight for him, honestly. He had to pull out, and then he got into a car accident last June. So during fight week. So that's rough. Yeah, man. I'm a big Frank Camacho fan. Very, very nice guy, and always comes to bang. So very, very excited for his return.
Shout out Guam.
Yep, shout out Guam. Yeah, man. Overall, a solid card. But that's not all we have in MMA this week. We do have some more fights to talk about. First, to recap this card, sadly, Bellator France, Bellator 280, Ryan Bader, Czech Congo. So the first fight obviously ended in an eye poke. You didn't get to see really how it was going to play out. Well, we see why they decided to, take their time rescheduling this one. This fight sucked, man. Ryan Bader, uses his wrestling, gets a decision win. Not a whole lot to really talk about, but he did get the win. Did you see this one? What are your thoughts?
From what I know is I heard that Bader pretty much just controlled Congo. Like Congo just didn't have an answer to take down really. And once he got taken down, he was just kind of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct. That was essentially the story for about 5 rounds. That was it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was the main event of Bellator 280. The way more interesting fight. Guys, I can't stress to you how boring that fight was. Like there's a reason why this wasn't even like one of those situations where like Bellator kind of gets overshadowed by certain events or certain fights. You know what I mean? This fight was just so bad that like there was nothing going on. It was like night on a Friday. There was no other MMA on, and just nobody talked about it. That's how bad the fight was. Like it's terrible. Anyways, co-main event though was way more interesting. Yoel Romero defeating Alex Pelosi, and it was his first win. And it's crazy to think about, Angel. When's the last time you think Yoel Romero won a fight?
2018.
You looked it up, didn't you?
No, deadass, I guessed.
Oh yeah, 2018. February 2018, he knocked out Luke Rockhold. That was the last time he won a fight.
Dude, I'm a demon.
Dude, you're on that X game mode.
I'm on demon time.
Yeah, man. It was honestly a really impressive win for him. It really was. He toyed with him. Alex Pelosi looked like he didn't even believe. That's the weird thing about Romero, man. Like, obviously, sometimes he's on, sometimes he's not. He was on here, and honestly, it looked like Pelosi didn't even belong in the cage with him. It was that easy.
That's what I heard too. I did see the finish, just so you know.
Yeah, and that was it was a little bit weird because it happened with 1 second left, but
it was bad.
I thought the fight should have been stopped before that too. I thought it should have been stopped after the second round. I mean, he had no answer for anything. I mean, you just getting his ass kicked. You know, he got knocked out multiple times. So, anyways, man, happy for Romero though, man. They're gonna reschedule the Mayhoff fight. I'm happy about that. I think that's gonna be a banger. So, regardless, he did finally pick up a win, first inside the Bellator cage as well.
He looked a lot better, didn't he?
Yeah. For sure. And especially in that Phil Davis fight, his last one, he just was so hesitant to do anything.
I think because he didn't know how he was going to feel energy-wise, too. And then also he had like a botched weight cut, right?
Yeah. He said that problem before where he's so hesitant because he's afraid of gassing.
But he's so explosive. You saw it there at the end, man. He fucking blew up and put him out. And man, he fucked up Alex Pelosi bad, man. Pelosi's a tough kid. He
did. And he was on a nice little streak heading into this one, but yeah, man. Not a whole lot to really say about that outside of like the finish. It's just solid win for him to finally get back in the win column. Like I said, they're going to reschedule the Mayhoff fight. I don't remember what the date is going to be on that, but very, very excited for it. I'm very, very excited for that fight. But
should be a fun one.
For sure. Regardless, as far as the rest of the card goes, not a whole lot to really talk about, but what are some of the other fights you're looking to highlight?
You're going to have to take over from me, Josh.
Oh, yeah, it's right. Yeah, I forgot. So anyways, this card, dude, was a bit rough. Like I said, sometimes they have it where it's not really, how can I phrase it? They have like a lot of regional talent, to put it, they put it nicely.
The top talent was good though, wasn't it?
Huh?
The top talent, like the top French talent they brought in was pretty good. Like that David Allen guy, I heard he did a pretty good performance.
Yeah, he did. He had a nice win, knockout in the second, I believe. But yeah, I mean, my personal highlight of this was Lorenz Larkin, knocking out Kyle Stewart, and dude, he made it look so easy. Kyle Stewart looked like he didn't even belong in the cage with him. Like I said, Lorenz Larkin is a guy that sometimes he's on, sometimes he's not. And here, god damn, he was on point, man. I mean, like, and this is, like, don't look now, 6 wins in a row. Like, he should, if we're being honest, he should be getting a title shot next. So, and him against Mousasi sounds like a lot of fun, man.
It's a banger.
That it is, you know. So very, very excited to see that one. Let's hope they decide to run it. Because honestly, I think Mousasi's in a weird place right now where there hasn't been a whole lot for him. So, you know, let's see what happens.
He's not untouchable, but like the guys that are coming at him, he's putting them out.
Yeah, he's making him look like they don't belong in there with him.
I mean, next in line is Johnny Evelyn, so we have to see how Johnny Evelyn does next month. Yeah,
which I don't want to disrespect him, but I got a feeling that it's not going to go as well as he hopes.
Oh man,
I'm just saying, Moose is in that position right now where he's so fucking good that I don't really.
You ever heard the Big Dick story?
Excuse me?
Apparently, I don't know who it was, but apparently someone saw Gegard's dick, and apparently Gegard has a big dick.
Well, I really don't have a whole lot to add on that one, but
no, I just thought it was funny.
Hold on, I just remember something. I'm 99% sure he said the exact thing on the Ultimate Hour, not the Ultimate Hour, the MMA Hour. Like he had a really, really fun story about it. So
yeah, I heard it on JRE.
That's it. Of course, Rogan's the one talking about it.
I don't know who it was, but apparently saw Gegard's dong, and apparently it was big.
That sounds about right. That sounds like something Rogan would talk about. But anyways, man. Yeah, I want to see that fight next. But as far as the rest of the card goes, T-Ball Guti got a nice win. Soren Bach, we got to eat some crow here, Angel. We got to eat some crow. You know.
I wish I could watch this one, dude. I might be actually. It should be on YouTube, right? Because it's on the prelims.
Correct. It should be.
I'm gonna
go. You gotta watch.
I'm gonna do some fight analysis.
Yeah, dude, this was a rough fight. I thought he very, very clearly lost to our boy Charlie Leary, who we kind of disrespected a little bit. Got to be honest.
Hey man, technically we're still right.
I mean, we were right because he got the win, but I thought it was a terrible decision. I thought it was
shut your mouth, Josh. We were right.
Oh, all right, my bad. Yeah, man. But regardless, shout out Charlie Leary, man.
Wait. I'm on MMA Decisions. I see it here. The only Sherdog scored it like media scores, and because they had a 28-29 Leary.
Yep, and I thought it was a really, really clear one too.
Holy shit! Fans scored it. 88% of fans thought Leary won.
Yep. It was a pretty easy fight to score. And it was 29-28, 30-27, and 29-28, all for Sorenbach.
Everybody had unanimous first two rounds for Leary, last round Bach.
Yeah, it was
only 18 scorecards submitted though. Just
Oh, okay.
Not the biggest sample size.
Small sample size, but accurate though, because it was a terrible decision. So
I wonder how much I win that. That's crazy. Robbery of the year.
I'd say to this point. Granted, small sample size, of course, though. Anyways, yeah, this card was a bit of a mixed bag, but hopefully the one this weekend is better, because Bellator 281 is going down from the SSE Arena in London, England. This card looked like the Bellator's best card of the year, arguably. I mean, you can make a case of all time. I mean, granted, other Bellator cards have had some bigger names, have had some more championship fights, but this card, like, on paper was fucking dope. Taking a lot of hits, though. Taking a whole lot of hits.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, but still excited for the main event. Main event is Logan Storley taking on Michael Venom Page for the interim Bellator World Championship. It's supposed to be MVP taking on our boy Yaroslav Amosov. He did have to pull out because he obviously enrolled in the Ukraine military. Shout out to him, sending him love and, hoping for the best in that whole situation there. But while he is gone, they do have to go ahead and put on some fights. And so Logan Storley stepped in on, it wasn't too short a notice, but he did apparently take this fight around the end of March, so bit of short notice. But you know what? It's MVP's home. We've talked about it for a long time, how he needs to take a big step up. There is no bigger step up than Logan Storley. Give me your thoughts on this one. Do you think MVP gets it done in his home country, finally wins the big one? Or do you think Logan Storley comes in here and upsets a lot of UK fans?
I think this is the place to do it, man. I think he should be able to do it. I think for Logan, we know what he's going to do. We know his game plan. I think for MVP, the same thing. The thing is, though, I know that MVP has a chance or has some sort of capability to stopping some of the takedowns. Whether or not that happens is, we yet to see, right? We'll see on that out. Whereas Logan, I know Logan on the feet is going to have an extremely hard time because he's not your traditional, stand-up fighter in MMA. He comes from a traditional, point fighting karate background. Mm-hmm. On top of that, the guy has a good kickboxing background. He's great at distance. He's super talented, has a fuck ton of power. And he's put out guys in some vicious way. I mean, he's legitimately hurt and potentially ended careers because of his abilities.
Yeah.
I think for Logan, there's going to be a lot of worries, man. There's going to be a lot of worries of like, how am I going to get in? I need to be careful because when he hits me here, but then he's over there, and then he's going to turn this way, and then he's going to feint this way, but then he could catch me here. He's in a lot of danger on the feet, especially at the start of every round. MVP's going to have the advantage unless Logan can instantly shoot and get him down.
Mm-hmm.
As far as my pick, I'm going to pick MVP just because I think he has a chance. I think he has a possibility to stuff some of the takedowns, get the finish on the feet, and put Logan out.
Yeah, man, it's definitely going to be close. It's one of those fights where it's very, very clear. It's going to go one way or the other. MVP is a guy that his takedown defense is actually not that great, but in terms of, he's very, very smart. He doesn't let himself get put in too bad a position. He's a very strong guard. He's very good at wrist control. Looking at this fight, Logan Storley is a pretty heavy favorite. He's a 2.5 to 1 favorite roughly. Some places have him as high as 3 to 1, but yeah, regardless, Storley is a pretty big favorite here in the UK. Man, I've been going back and forth on this one all week, man. I'm gonna be honest. I've been going back and forth a whole lot. I'm going to go ahead and take MVP. I'm going to go and take MVP.
I love that energy.
Yeah, I'm going to go and take it, man. I just think on the feet, he'll have such a huge advantage. I think Logan's going to get him down. I'm not really worried about that. It's more about will he be able to execute his game plan once he gets him down. They got 5 rounds. They all started on the feet. I think MVP is going to have such a huge striking advantage on the feet, and I think he's going to make it dirty. I think he's going to get the finish. I think this is his time, man. He's 35. He knows that his clock is kind of ticking, and that big winner of Douglas Lima shows like he's here, man. Like he's ready for this shit, dog. He's fucking ready, Angel. And I think he's going to go out and get there, and I think he's going to get the strap, and I think he's going to secure his legacy in Bellator. You know, it's one of the greatest fighters to walk into that Bellator cage. But we'll see what happens. I can see Logan Storley just as easily dominating him on the mat, and all this conversation is fucking pointless. But regardless, I'm going to go and take MVP to get the big win in his home country. But, yeah, man, co-main event spot. Another nice fight. This is apparently going to be Lyoto Machida's potentially his last fight in MMA. At the very least, it'll be likely his last fight in Bellator. I believe he went ahead and told Scott Coker that was probably his last fight.
Wow.
And, you know, Scott was debating giving it to him, but decided he's going to go ahead and honor it. Taking on Fabian Edwards, who, you know, he has lost 2 in a row, but regardless, he's still one of the top guys in Bellator's middleweight division. Pretty simple one. Do you think Machida, do you think the Dragon goes out on the highest of highs and defeats Fabian Edwards?
You know, I'm surprised you, Josh. I think he can. I think he will, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually not that surprised.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm also picking Machida.
Hey, let's go. No love for the Edward family here in Oscar.
No, I love Fabian. I think he's a great dude. I think he's a lot of. I actually like to see him in the UFC someday. But
you like him more than Leon?
No, I mean I've been on the Leon train for a lot longer than most people. So I mean, regardless, I just think like this is Machida's night, man. I think you look at the fact that he has 3 losses in a row, which on paper looks terrible, and then you remember, oh, that's right, you know, the Musasi. I thought he beat both Musasi and Davis. To be completely honest, those are both split decisions. I remember the Musasi one was a really, really bad decision, in my opinion. And then obviously, you know, the Phil Davis one was the kind of fight where not a lot will happen. I did think that he won that one. The Bader fight was a fight where just like, I remember he had some early success and then he got gassed over the course of the fight, and then he was fighting light heavyweight anyways. That's not really his weight class anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I'm taking to go ahead and go out here on a high. I think we're both picking the dogs here, Angel. It's gonna be.
Well, we're smart. We're smart. We're making a correct decision. That's what it is.
Well, we know better than, you know.
We know better than these guys making the odds.
Exactly. We know better. I mean, that's what it honestly comes down to. But yeah, as far as this card goes, my man, what are some of the other fights you're looking to talk about?
Ooh, I mean, we gotta highlight Paul Daly, man. Sadly, no more Andre Korshkov, but it is Paul Daly's retirement fight, and we know Paul Daly's going to go out with a bang. So any fight he ends, you know, is going to be good.
Correct. One of the greatest action fighters to ever, just ever. Actually, I think full stop. I can never seen a boring Paul Daly fight. He's taking on former LFA fighter Wendell Diaz-Mao, who's 9-2, coming in on very short notice. Regardless, it's going to be a banger. I'm a little bit disappointed he didn't get a bigger name. Maybe he'll decide to come back for one more after this. I know he's talked about, you know, in the past, you know, he said he's going to retire and then he never actually did, so we'll see what happens here. I was hoping he's going to get a bigger name. So I thought the Korshkov matchup made so much sense, but, you know, shit happens, so that's why we're not getting that. You know, I still really like the fight, though. Like I said, never seen a boring Paul Daly fight. But anyways, Denise Keelholz taking on Kana Watanabe should be a very, very fun fight. Very, very excited for that one. Denise Keelholz, obviously her last fight was that split decision of Juliana Velasquez, which is a very, very close fight. And now with a win here, she's right back in contention. Daniel Weichel on the prelims taking on Rob Whiteford should be a banger. Yeah, Charlie, this is kind of like a low-key one. Charlie Ward is back.
Yep, I was looking at that.
Yeah, Charlie Ward was a guy that I kind of thought got a bit of a rough go in the UFC. Granted, he only got signed because of his association to Conor anyway, but he was young in his career. He was only 3-1. He got knocked out twice by Abdul Hazak Al Hassan and Glor Bonifando. And if you know either one of those guys, that's not a big deal to lose to either one of them. Both those guys have a shit ton of power. But yeah, man. So since then, he's gone to Bellator. He's won something like 6 or 7 fights, 7 of 8, something insane. And he actually just got pulled from the Bellator rankings because he's been out of the ring for so long. But prior to that, he was ranked like number 3. Like he's right there for a title shot. He might even get one if he wins this weekend against Alan Carlos. So,
he's old though. He's 40, bro.
He's 40. That's true. He is 40. But we'll see what happens. He's taking on Alan Carlo, who is 13-9 out of Brazil, former Cage Warriors veteran. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, man, Charlie Ward kind of knows that it's his time's running up. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, man, I like this card a lot. I really do. I think there's a lot of fun fights here. Like I said, it could have been one of the greatest Bellator cards ever, but we're
gonna get a big break here though, too.
Yeah, true. They're not gonna be back until June 24th after this one, but I forgot Lima Jason Jackson was also for this card and it got pulled,
which is devastating because that would have made this card super stacked.
I mean, they originally had it was MVP Amasov, Lima Jackson, Koreshkov, Daly. Like, they had a lot of damn good fights, man.
I mean, that's probably one of the best cards that you can make outside of the UFC.
Well, it's probably the greatest Bellator card ever. Like I said, they probably had other fights that were title fights. I think Bellator NYC had a lot of title fights. But, Bellator's roster now is a lot better than it was then. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, this is still a fun card. Still very, very excited for it. I think it's arguably the best card of the weekend, but we'll see what happens. There is no more MMA to talk about past Bellator 281. However, we do have some boxing to go over. Last Saturday night, the impossible happened. Not Canelo Alvarez losing, but losing on the scorecards. I mean, this is a true story, Angel. I did not tell you this, but I went to bed. Most people know this. I think I mentioned it a couple minutes ago, but I fell asleep because I was in Dallas and I had to wake up early the next morning and get back on the road to get back to Kansas because vacation was over. So I didn't stay up to watch Bivol Alvarez, and I woke up and I got the ESPN notification when I saw it at 6:30 a.m. and it was like, oh shit, Dimitri Bivol defeated Canelo Alvarez, moves to 20, and I'm like, holy shit, he knocked him out. Oh,
that's what you thought happened.
There was just, in my mind, there was no possibility that he could win on the cards. And Angel, they got damn close to fucking him. They got real close, Angel.
I saw that. The cards were close.
They got really close. In the end, Dimitri Bivol defeats Canelo Alvarez, retains his WBA super light heavyweight championship strap. The card being 115-113, which if you watch that fight, that's terrifying. I gave Canelo 2 rounds. I think most people gave Canelo at max 3 rounds. And the fact that it was tied going into the 10th is terrifying. But regardless,
the right guy won, so there's never no worry. I feel like I tell you, Josh, as long as the right guy wins, I never worry. But if the wrong guy wins, that's where the worry is.
I know, and I get that point, but Canelo won. I know that you kind of, didn't watch this one, give full attention because obviously you were busy with the boys,
I was looking down, but I knew it was looking rough.
Yeah, but they gave Canelo all 3 judges gave Canelo the first 4 rounds. That's fucking terrifying. Because I watched that and I think I gave Canelo maybe 1 and I was being generous. I remember, you can look up, because MMA Decisions actually decided to cover this one.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get a good idea of how the fight actually went. Because I do watch this one, literally yesterday, just to make sure that, I wasn't fucking crazy. I gave him 2 rounds. I scored a 118-110 B-ball. It wasn't even close, but the fact that he almost fucked him is really terrifying. But regardless, give me your take on this one? Was it just that the weight was too much for Canelo? Was it that he finally just ran into a guy that there's a whole lot of different things can go into.
I think it's a combination of things. From what like I said, I didn't get to give a great look. I'm giving as much as I can from a combination of what I've heard, what I kind of was able to see during the fight, and just a little bit from a little bit of everything, right? Trying to bring it full circle. One, I think game plan wise wasn't the greatest. A bit obvious with trying to hit the arms again, trying to blow him up. He thought it was a good idea, but Bivol said he was very ready for that. And at the same time, I think the weight played a factor, but not necessarily the weight. Not so much to the build of Bivol being long, tall, not super tall, but tall enough where it made some difference. And And with that, and also being in great mobility, too. And being smart, keeping him at bay, keeping him at distance, and being smart and going forward, too, at times, being like, okay, I'm big, I need to bully him, too,
Yeah.
So he did a lot of, I think it was just a combination of a lot of things.
Yeah, I think it's that. I think for sure. I think some people that are mounting it up to like the weight are being way too. Like Bivol didn't win because he was the bigger guy. He won because he was the better guy. Like that. Like if you watch that fight, man, like he just wore him down, man. Like that strategy. He essentially had the same strategy he did against Cal Smith that you mentioned. Hit him in the arms, try and wear him down, and so on and so forth. From the word go, though, I mean, he couldn't get past the jab, and it felt like the first time where he was like, oh, shit, I'm facing it. Because whenever he fought Kovalev up at 175, he was fighting an older Kovalev. Granted, Kovalev's 36. He was coming off a war with Anthony Yard. And even then, Kovalev, it's a really weird fight to watch in hindsight. Even at the time, I thought it was weird, but it's even weirder to watch now. Because, like, Kovalev, you'd assume the roles would be the first, But Kovalev was not, who's normally the puncher, was instead on the back foot. He was like, no, fuck this. I'm not getting any exchanges. I'm going to jab away and just hope I can probably make his scorecards,
And he was. At the time, he was.
And he was winning up until he got knocked out. At least I thought he did. I think it was like, I think one judge had Alvarez winning, the other had Kovalev winning. One was like a draw, I think, up to that point. But anyways, yeah, I mean, this fight was interesting because it was like, Bivol was like, yeah, I'm not afraid of this power. I don't give a shit. He went out there and he just cracked him. He found home for the jab. And in round 11, I think, here's the crazy part, because the fight was tied going into round 11. In round 11, Bivol just said, fuck it. And he just deviated from the game plan entirely. He's like, you know what? I'm going to stand in the pocket and trade Canelo. I'm going to get right up to him. Fuck it. And then he just started landing big shots. You can tell Canelo was just mentally broken by that point, man. Like, he just, it was a tough fight for him, man. And at this point, he said, right afterwards, he said, like, this isn't over. We're going to rematch. And then, like, the next day, he's like, hold on a minute. Let me rethink this, I think you should go back to 168. I think you should still just do the Triple G trilogy, honestly. Just because I think, like, that light heavyweight, can he beat guys light heavyweight? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And I respect Canelo for finding his limits. I feel like some guys, this isn't a knock against Triple G, but since I just brought him up, Triple G is a guy that he stayed his most of his career around 1-2 weight class. Canelo is willing to jump up to light heavyweight, willing to jump up to cruiserweight, even test his limits at heavyweight. I respect that. That's awesome. That's the game. I love that shit, dog. I love that. He's willing to test his limits to see where he is. But can he beat light heavyweights? For sure. He's not going to beat the upper echelon of light heavyweights. He's not going to beat the Bivol. He's not going to beat, better beef. I think even Joe Smith Jr. would be a problem for him. So that at that level, you're finding guys that can not only crack because they're bigger than you, they can box too because they're fucking champions. That's the reason why I moved up and fought Kovalev whenever he did. And I'll give him props, dude. This is a tough fight for him to take.
And that's what I told you, dude. I thought the M'Bakubu fight was interesting. Like, you were writing it off, but you never know.
Because I don't think I think it's different from the M'Bakubu fight because I don't think he's very good. That's as simple as I don't think he's very good. That's literally what it comes down to.
Hey,
I think Bivol is
M'Bakubu puts fuckers out, though, dude.
He can.
Dude, M'Bakubu's gonna put you out, Josh.
He absolutely could. M'Bakubu whooped my ass. I'm not worried about that, but I'm not gonna.
Actually, I don't know, Josh. I think you can whoop M'Bakubu's ass.
You think if I go ahead and have a good training camp,
No.
I go hang out with James Krause?
No, you're fucked.
You're probably right, but yeah, man. Overall, dude, this is just. What do you think as far as Canelo's future? Do you think he should do the rematch? Do you think he should move back down to the super?
I mean, unless there's something he sees that he's like, holy fuck, how did I miss this? There's some crazy game plan, and he has some crazy belief in him, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not capable. It's not the possibility, right? Because the guy's super talented. We've seen it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But unless he sees something very clear and evident there, I don't think he should do it. Because no matter what, he'll be successful all the other weight classes, and I don't think anybody will shit on him for trying to go up a weight. No, it's not really anybody else trying to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's hella people dogging on him, but it's like, dude, name one other guy who's trying to do what he was trying to do.
Nobody really.
Not even no one, really, no one.
Yeah. I'm just saying no, because I can't think of anybody.
That's what I'm saying. You can't name anybody. So as much shit as people want to give him, the media do, and poke fun at him, no one else doing that shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's like legitimate criticisms you can levy at Canelo, like the PED shit, probably. The fact that he always gets good, like it's damn near criminal at this point. The scorecards he gets. It's like I'm saying there should literally be an investigation for some of these fights. But regardless, there's one thing you can't knock him for, and it's the fact that he's willing to fight anybody. Like that's the truth, dude. Like people are saying he's ducking Benavidez, and that's just, I don't know where the fuck that narrative came from, but I like Benavidez.
He's fighting like my guy's fighting like a whole other weight class with like whole other plans, bro. Benavidez said even on his mind. Why isn't Benavidez fighting up a weight class then?
Yeah, why hasn't Benavidez fought another fucking contender at this point? Canelo keeps on saying like these guys want to fight me. They should fight each other rather than just like who's Benavidez fighting next? Just guess who Benavidez is fighting next. If you don't, because I'm sure you don't know.
It's probably someone who hasn't even fought for a title before.
No, he is fighting somebody. He's fighting David Lemieux, who fought for the title and got knocked out by Canelo like 8 years ago. Full respect to him. Love the Canadian.
Shout out Canada.
Love the guy. But, that's, Benavidez needs, I'm sure you've seen this narrative too. Like, I've seen a lot of people why isn't he fighting Benavidez? That's such a, and I like Benavidez a lot too. He's got a lot of talent, but are we seriously going to pretend that he's fucking ducking him? I don't know, man. It makes no sense to me. But overall,
Why hasn't Benavidez fought Andrade?
Exactly. Why hasn't, there's just so many fights that these guys, you know, talk about it. It's these guys don't want to fight me, and I get it, payday, but fight each other. Prove that, you deserve this shot. And none of them do. Nobody is going out there and trying to prove they deserve the shot, and that's why he's doing these fights. He'll fight you if you've got a title, if he wants a title, but outside of that, he's there's no real motive for me. There's no real reason for me.
I am curious to see what he does, though. What direction he decides to go in, or if he just decides to take a little break. Because he's fought up a lot, dude, in the last 2-3 years. He's been
insanely active.
Probably the most active guy out of all the guys.
And outside of the King Jake Paul, nobody.
Yeah, no one comes close,
Yeah, nobody. But yeah, shit, dude. Canelo's been so active. So. Yeah, we'll see, man. I think that he probably should take some time off, but at the same time,
Canelo's so bored, dude, he might fucking box Kamaru at this point,
Yeah, I don't think he will. I think he's probably gonna fight Triple G next. I mean, that makes most sense.
He's gonna fight Jake Paul next, Josh.
No.
Yes.
Just no. It's not gonna happen.
He's gonna go to cruiserweight. He's gonna fight Jake Paul.
He's gonna fuck him up. Fucking for some random, the WBF cruiserweight title or some shit. I don't know.
The Emerald belt.
Yeah, the money belt was. I don't think the WBC made that one a couple years ago. Anyways, man, but shout out to Dimitri Bivol, dude. That was an excellent fight. I kind of hate that people kind of were just so, the size. I'm dude, Bivol just whooped his ass. Obviously he's the bigger guy, but.
I think people are just saying it's size. It's size plus technique,
Yeah.
It was a combination of both. I
see a lot of people not giving him credit, and I hate that shit. He was a huge underdog going in. Got to keep that same energy. That was a hell of a win.
It's not like size wasn't a factor. We also don't want to take that narrative away, but it's
no.
It wasn't size in of it itself. The guy can box.
No, for sure. I think it would be interesting though. They asked him about it, about doing the rematch. He's yeah, fuck, we can do it down in middleweight if he wants. Because Bivol, a lot of people forget, Bivol fights at light heavyweight. He's fought at light heavyweight his entire career, but he boxed in the amateurs at super middleweight. And he fought as low as middleweight. So.
I wonder if he would want to do that. I don't know how much of a difference it'd make, if any.
Yeah.
Who knows? He hasn't fought at that weight in a while, so maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But he was only 180 on fight night, so he's not a big light heavyweight, so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be interesting if they rerun it at super middleweight. I'd be interested in that at 168. But regardless, yeah, man, shout out Canelo. As far as boxing goes, or anything else we talk about in regards to this fight, or anything else in general before we close out?
Not specific. Obviously there's stuff coming up on the weekend, but nothing I'm particularly interested in talking about.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I think Charlo Castaño 2 is happening, and so is Anderson Silva against poor Bruno Machado who's going to get murked. So, but outside of that, that's essentially it. And I don't have a whole lot of interest in.
Probably not till like the end of the month and the start of next month.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, as far as the show goes, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm at Josh Evanoff on Twitter. He's at Ortega_01 at Courtside Sound for all things related to the show. Hope you guys enjoyed as always. Peace and butt grease. Mouse click.